Okay, hi, welcome back to the Dylan Rounds case and this video. So I wasn't going to make a video today because I was still having a little break and the dentist as well earlier, because tomorrow I am going to do a video, a main one, but I can do a small one now, and it's an update regarding Candice Cooley, okay, and the Dylan Rounds search. And recently, maybe like yesterday or so, roundabout, Candice Cooley provided an update regarding certain services and equipment being used to look for Dylan. Let me head on over to the Facebook page and share that information with you. So here we are on the Facebook page. Up above, hide toolbar, there we go. Right, so here we are on the Dylan Rounds Facebook page. It's just people sharing their opinions recently, as well as, those little mementos of Dylan and in memory of him or in support of him, the sunflower things, decorations, and seeds. We've seen that, okay, with time. It's good that people are, being creative and doing all that. But this is the main piece, 18 hours ago by Candice Cooley. It says, update. We want to thank everyone for their continued support in keeping Dylan's face and name out there. He deserves justice. Now, it's just kind of interesting that what she says. I don't know if she means everyone in literally everyone and everyone on YouTube, because as you know, there's been times where Candice in the past and in most recent time appearing on certain YouTube channels and then bashing other YouTubers out there, that type of thing. Maybe it's kind of happened with Ty Corbin as well, but Ty Corbin keeps to himself for most part of it, so that's okay. But it does make you wonder, doesn't it? You can leave your thoughts down below, and I can do another video about Candice, because I feel it's been one of those things where early on I was thinking a certain way and then other people were a different way, then kind of aligned in agreement. Then it seemed like differing opinions again. And then just recently with the dirt mound and all of that, I just feel like it's a bit dodgy. I'm just saying it in like broken English in a way, because I can make a proper video on it sometime, okay? Part of like a discussion, like a live chat. But it does make you wonder about the, being appreciative of people covering the case, because, depending on how you interpret it, there's people covering the case and literally trying to find Dylan, boots on ground people. And then there's people covering the case and doing the interviews and spreading the word and supposedly spreading the truth or clearing up loose ends to the rest of the general public or viewers, whilst inviting someone like Candice onto their panel to do the talks. And then you will have maybe the odd few YouTubers that are covering the Dylan Rounds case, continuing supposed support, but it's really just spewing out maybe BS and kind of like messy, dishy-wishy information, maybe with some like the spirit boxes and card readers. You might get the odd genuine ones out there, but I think a fair few of them are a bit wobbly in a way, like the bobbleheads, you don't know which way it's going to go, that type of thing. I don't know what I'm trying to say. And then, last but not least, you'll have the individuals that make a genuine effort to cover the case, try and break it down, maybe even go a bit backwards just to understand what's happening and if anything's been missed. And that aim is more to do with keeping the Dylan Rounds case alive and creating noise so the right people might come in at a point in time, or it just stops it from becoming a cold case in terms of social media, at least, or online platforms. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like what I do. Maybe my brain is a little bit slow at times, that's why I go backwards. Not myself literally, but when looking back at certain things. But I guess you can interpret it however you want. You know, you could say Candice Cooley here is being normal and grateful and thankful, but then you see her other times she's bashing people. So it's kind of like, thank you, fuck you, thank you, fuck you, back and forth. I guess it depends how you interpret it. You can leave your thoughts down below. Let's continue reading and I'll shut up. It also says, Candice says, we have been working with Equisearch and have had them ship their broad spectrum drone to us personally. We've encouraged some pilots and will be covering some ground that we feel needs the technology this drone has. We will keep everyone posted and send some videos of it. Interesting. I don't know where those videos will be sent. Maybe to Zav Girl, maybe to No Thanks, those type of people, because they've had, you know, video material before. So that's good, and then that can trickle through onto YouTube, and then people can maybe assess it possibly. As for the encouraging pilots, you know, it could be general public possibly. I don't know what a broad spectrum drone is. Like, I know what a drone is. You know, you see him hovering in the sky. We've seen it with Heavy D, with some of his cinematic videos, the drone, you know, just drifting over, getting a bird's eye view. It's like in between boots on ground and Google Earth. You're there in real life, but the piece of equipment you're using is looking down at it, bird's eye, which can be useful because, like, if it comes to higher elevation, scouting out an area instead of covering the terrain and some of the dangers of it, you can just send a drone up just to scan the area first of all to make sure there's no threat, no dangerous wildlife, no dodgy individuals around, and so on like that. As for a broad spectrum drone, I guess that's a variant maybe. Obviously you probably have a camera on board. Like, could it be a wide lens camera, a 360 degree camera? I'm just thinking of broad spectrum, broad. Now broad is like wide, isn't it? So maybe a wide camera lens. Anyway, I'm sure it will help. And also it does link on to say, I want to be very clear when I say Box Elder County Sheriff's Office could have had this drone shipped to them the beginning of August. They chose not to utilise it. That is why we have taken it into our own hands. I was told for weeks that they would have a date, that they would use it via another LE office, and it just never happened. Equisearch was more than happy to ship it to us and let us utilise the technology. Once again, Box Elder County Sheriff's Office, thank you for the fail in helping us bring Dylan home. So once again, it's that I don't mean it in a negative way, like it makes sense. Another dig at Box Elder County saying, well done once again for failing, for messing up, and it's true from the looks of it. And we see it over and over again, and like some of the more recent things we've heard of and critical stuff when it comes to equipment or resources, Box Elder County, whether they have it or know someone who does, they seem to prevent it from being used. So we're seeing it with this broad spectrum drone. Supposedly Box Elder County had one or something similar, and yet they chose not to ship it out there. They chose not to use it. So that's like, well, why do you do that? You're limiting the possibilities of a successful search, right? Limiting the overall point of view. And then before that, what we've heard previously was to do with the bloodhound unit, the cadaver dogs. Do you know how you say that? Are you supposed to say it in an Australian accent? Does that? Get the cadaver dogs out, mate. Send the dogs out, running around in the desert. Fuck me, it's pretty hot here. Need a Foster's rattler to cool me down. The Shack lady can review that accent once again, because she did it last time. Anyway, yeah, so that bloodhound unit, cadaver, and they were called off. Now, there was a reason behind it because of the rain, and it dropped down to a 20% chance of a successful search. But, you know, it's one of those things, if time is ticking at that point in time, and you've got to, you know, go out there and try and do what needs to be done and whatever can be done, and yet now you're starting to limit stuff and say, oh, no, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. It's like you're only making it worse in a way. You know, you're reducing the chances yourself as well. So I'm just trying to think, when will it get to that point where maybe Candice does start thinking Boxall County Sheriff's Office is a little corrupt? You know what I'm saying? Now, is there anything else? No, there isn't. Comment section, not much there. When is James Brenner's next court date? That was by Rebecca. Well, that should be in October. Is it the 11th? Oh, boom! Look at that. What am I saying? New trial has been set for the 11th, the 28th. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm just getting mixed up with the dates because aren't they backwards or something? Or am I just backwards? 8:30 a.m. Wow, that's pretty early. We've got to think of time zone difference as well. You know what I'm saying? So it says the new trial has been set. So what about, when they call it a new trial, is that an additional one or is it the original one but now a new date? I don't know. I mean, there has been some kind of trial beforehand, some kind of court case previously, a couple of months ago, because it showed Candice on that news channel being interviewed outside of the court, if you remember, and those court documents were showed about Brenner's past criminal history and what he's been up to and all of that stuff. So I guess this is the second one, if I'm correct in saying. What's this? With hunting season upon us, we'll be looking for signs of Dylan. That makes sense with those previous posters we saw about attention to all hunters, be on the lookout. So yeah, what's this? Just like reaching out to certain people. Yeah, okay, we'll leave it there. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. That just provides an update of where things are at the moment. Obviously, dodgy camera angle. Does that equal a dodgy video? I'm not too sure. It's just because it's on the spot. Wasn't planned this, so I don't have the tripod with me at this moment in time. But that aside, one thing that's interesting what Candice said was, like, right now, with everything that's gone on in the past, I'm taking matters into my own hands. Kind of like a reflection of what Justin Rounds was willing to do originally when Box Elder County failed at the start to go down to Montello because of that supposed hostage situation with Dylan held there. And, you know, Justin Rounds was like, if you're not going to do anything, I'll go myself. And, you know, that's like that hint of, if the authority aren't going to do things and handle stuff, then he will, and that might come with violence, which all makes sense. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it's just how it works. Now, Candice, all of a sudden, is taking matters into her own hands. It could make you think, well, why is it taking this long? Maybe because she's fairly patient. I know other people have different opinions. Some people might have the dark idea of, well, it's been dragged out long enough, so Dylan's chance of survival is much lower now, so then family can step in and act like they care. That's not coming from my mouth. That's what certain people would be thinking, again, and we have seen it here and there. In terms of my opinion, all I would say is she says she's taking matters into her own hands now. Why not earlier? Because technically you did. When at the start with the whole crime scene, you know, breaking into Dylan's vehicle, handling it, ruining potential evidence and fingerprints, you did it then. So why the delay till now of reaching out for certain equipment? You know what I'm saying? It's just like she's already, you know, taken action in the past, maybe a bit reckless, but she has. So I don't know why she stopped. Should have continued on. But then again, one of those things where I guess towards the start at least, she probably held back because although she didn't like the LE are there for a reason, and really the main ones to do the job or to follow through with the investigation. So you've got to rely on them in a way. You can only do so much yourself. So it could be that. And as well, it's probably one of those things where, although bad things have happened, you know, if you look back now, a lot of dodginess, a lot of potential corruptness, delaying things and handling stuff. But if you looked back retrospectively, within a period of a couple of weeks or a month, there wouldn't be as many bullet points to list, would there? In comparison to if you do it now and look back 3 months ago. So I guess people might have the breaking points, and maybe Candice has got to that point of where she's like, enough is enough. As I said, you can leave your thoughts down below. Do you think this usage of equipment, this broad spectral drone, do you think it will help? Will it be of use? She said that it's going to be used in specific locations. Where do you think they will be, you know? Because the way it's been worded, oh, we've been at the farm, we've been at the grain shed, all the land all around, and we just haven't found anything yet, and all the caves and the mines and mine shafts have been searched. When you hear that language, it's like, well, what's left? And what exactly? Far east, far south, far north, far west? Is it the mountainous region between the border of Nevada and Utah? Maybe. I know we've seen Lance Ty and also Heavy D crew around that area on the other side of the border, or just over it, and they've been looking for the mines and still are doing that, which is good. So it makes you think, is Candice and those pilots are going to step in on the other side of the mountainous region and then use that drone? Makes you think, because it's either going to be used to get an overall idea and view of a wide area looking down, or it's used in areas where people can't get to physically, or it's more of a struggle. So that's why I say mountainous region. Anyway, that's it for now. Okay, just a short little video. Hope you enjoyed it, and should be making a proper longer one tomorrow. Okay, so thanks for watching. Goodbye.